one of my favorite things to do is the Balancer Pro for lymphatic drainage, but you like to pair those together, whether it's in the same day or even in the same week. Can you explain why that would be such a good stack?
Yes, I love that question too. So another thing that CVAC does, it works very synergistically with the lymphatic system and actually the glymphatic system of the brain. So when you were touching on, clearing the inflammation from the brain, that has a lot to do with your brain has its own lymphatic system. It's called lymphatic. It's usually only activated during sleep, but we have proven that CVAC activates that system. And I think that's why it's so profound for so many of these neurological, issues going on with people right now. The Balancer Pro is something that's going to be manual. So when you get into the Balancer Pro, it's a class 2 medical device is what it is, and it's actually cleared for lymphatic drainage, not for compression. We see a lot of these centers are opening up and they're having things like Normatec, the boots, right? And they're calling it lymphatic drainage. It is not. Your lymphatic system actually begins like kind of where your knee is, and it goes all the way up. I mean, you have lymph in your head as well. So the boots are maybe covering the knee part of the lymphatic system, but those are more for compression, recovery. True lymphatic, and why we both love the Balancer Pro so much, is because it is calibrated to each of our sizes, right? So we can get an NFL football player in here that's 6'5" and 300 pounds, and the Balancer Pro will know the exact compression for that person. Whereas we get you in very slight, very fit, it will actually go to the pressure of your size. And so I think there's 24 different chambers in the Balancer Pro, and they're constantly calibrating and measuring. And then depending on what we're trying to obtain, if it is like get rid of excess fluid, there's specific pressure measurements that we basically will administer, and it will help activate that lymphatic system, activate the lymph nodes. There's a pre-therapy setting on it that's unique to this particular device that will first activate the lymph nodes and get them going. And so when you go through the treatment, they're more effective of cleaning things out. And then again, that lymphatic system, I cannot say how important that is. I mean, most people, when they are dealing with something chronic or stressful lifestyle, their sleep is compromised. And so they're not really activating that lymph system. And what we hypothesize, it hasn't been proven in science, but with what I've seen over the years, doing an hour's worth of CVAC as far as lymphatic is similar to about 4 hours of restorative sleep. So that is huge. And we do quantify things like with our R rings, we're able to see what our readiness score is, how much REM sleep we're getting, deep sleep we're getting, where our heart rate variability is. And clients time and time again state on the days that they use CVAC, it's astronomical. And then it just keeps upticking, and getting better and better. So.
Well, I think both of you and I would agree that none of this matters if none of the diet, the exercise, supplements, anything matters unless we're sleeping. And that is also one of the biggest complaints. And I actually, ironically, was listening to a sleep podcast this morning about the restorative nature, and most people are suffering. They're stressed, their cortisol is reversed, they're wired and tired, right? So this is a hack that is going to give your body that reparative, state even without the sleep, but then it's also going to improve the sleep. The other thing that I noticed when I was wearing a continued glucose monitor, and I think I sent you pictures, my blood sugar went way down when I was in the pod. As far as supplement goes with these two, something that I love, because you're flushing your cells out, right? We have these toxins and we want to soak them up and get them out of our body. And using the accelerated cellular detox powder soaks those toxins up so that you're not going to have any debris left over, and it cleans everything out really well, reduces inflammation throughout the gut and the intestines and stuff. And now it has chitosan in it, which is also known to carry out excess cholesterol out of the liver and dietary fat, that unexplained weight gain people are experiencing. Or also another thing people are experiencing from the pandemic is elevated cholesterol levels not changing anything. So if you're someone where you're like, my doctor says my cholesterol's higher, I don't know why. Well, the detox powder can help soak up that excess cholesterol.